Today, I'm reflecting on all of these energies we're experiencing. And one of the things I'm so grateful for is recognizing these patterns in myself and then the collective, and really how wonderful it is that this energy is supporting us in closing out the old cycles and really launching us in the coming months into not only new ways of being, but new ways of expressing ourselves, our authentic versions of our individuality. And it's interesting because the energy is holding space for both innovation and action and movement, but it's in a very spiritually heart opening way because it's combining the spiritual aspects with these grounded aspects. So, what can I say today that might be helpful is your invitation right now is to not only recognize what's closing, as I've been saying for a while, what's closing and clearing, what isn't fitting, what you're putting down and not focusing on and putting your energy in, having that clarity and continuing to sort as needed when things are coming up. Because right now, things that were under the surface are showing up, both in the collective and in our own psyche and our emotions and our thoughts and feelings. So we might be noticing aspects of ourselves that we weren't conscious of before. And that is a beautiful gift. So seeing those things now and then recognizing, oh, wow, I see a bigger arc of a storyline, perhaps, that has been playing out in my life. And is it limiting me? Was it keeping me in victim mentality? Was it stopping me from expressing myself or doing what I want and love and have passion for? Because there can be a lot of not only hidden aspects or wounds that are showing up, but we could literally have been hiding ourselves, having fears that weren't necessarily conscious, but could be, about stepping into the world in a more vocal, expressive, honest way. And so coming back to what can you be looking at is, what am I having emotional resistance to that isn't aligned with what I want? So if you're noticing the limitations and emotional resistance to stepping into something that is your passion, that does feel good, noting those things, doing the work on that, doing a write and release of the shadows or the stories or the energies, all those things, so that then you're really sorting and clearing out the desk, so to speak, for the next project, the next exciting, passionate move forward. And it's not going to all switch at once. We're moving into some new cycles that are, 14 years, 30 years, 165 years. So we're launching into this whole new rebirth of ourselves that is hitting around the 20th of February. But this is going to be unfolding all over this whole year of 2026 and beyond, because it's not like you move through a threshold of energy and you completely shut the door. I mean, for some of us and some things, it may feel really clear like that, which is wonderful. But for some of us, we'll still be sorting for a while and finishing out the old energies and really tidying up and cleaning up after ourselves, so to speak, so that then we're able to, with that clarity, the clear choices, the clear decisions, really orienting and aligning ourselves toward bringing those new things. That there can also be this discovery of something within yourself that you weren't even aware of that comes to the surface in a good way. This courage, this confidence, this self-esteem, this worthiness, this self-value that can come forward and be expressed in that authentic new way, that individual part of you that you came here to shine that light in the world. and that can be what's coming forward in a way that maybe you never even thought was possible for you or recognized as an aspect of yourself. Because our souls are stepping forward into more expression of that truth and that wisdom and that love that's within us. We're all here to bring different things. And so, this new, we can call it a rebirth because we're at this whole new beginning of the zodiac wheel. So, energetically, that also represents coming into physical form from being a soul without a body, that formless aspect, that we've been in that Piscean energy, that watery energy, but then moving into this embodied physical individual form, which is that Aries fire, passion, initiative, drive. It has to do with our physical body. And then, not to get in the woods with the details, and I'm not an astrologer, but I follow it so much, so it's hard not to mention it. We have this Neptune and Saturn that are also moving into Aries. So they're together. They're this beautiful blend of embodiment of the spiritual, the Piscean Neptune energy into form of Saturnian, physical, strong, stable, concrete energy that's going to be coming through. And they're both moving into this 0 point at the 0 degrees of Aries. It's a world point. It's like a birth. It's like a restart. It's a 0 point. It's a creation point. So having intentions about what these positive things are that you're now maybe percolating and starting to sense now that you've been cleaning the decks and clearing for a while, that what are those things that are your passion, that are your exciting new ventures that you're wanting to explore and move forward with in these new cycles. And again, that's like the physical form, the embodiment of things in this physical world, but it's merging with this beautiful spiritual awareness and awakening by having both of these planets coming into that. So that's why I was saying there could be this sudden awakening within you of new ways of expressing your individuality in the world in maybe a more connected to the divine or nature or whatever your spiritual practice is. It could be religious for some people. It could be, more of that spirit realm and nature for some people. So it's just understanding that we're all here to express different versions of the divine, the all that is, the oneness creates always and is everyone and everything and all the names and forms. So there's this beautiful birthing of all of this, not only within humanity as a whole, but all of us individually. And so it's going to be exciting to watch this unfold. And again, thinking how grateful I am to be as here during this time and recognizing how all of this energy is supporting all of us to step into these new, evolved, awakened, embodied versions of ourselves. And it hasn't been comfortable, and it still might not be comfortable because then we're pushing into new spheres of ourselves. We're pushing out of the old limitations, but coming into your practice, your breathing, your hand on your heart, and just closing your eyes, feeling the breath in your body, and coming into your trust. Because we're always supported, even if we don't feel it or see it in the moment. Things are always unfolding for our highest and greatest good. And one of the biggest challenges is how can I get out of the way of the divine, bringing forward the support, the guidance, the trajectory for the highest good? How can we let the mind quiet enough to hear those nudges and whispers of our soul and our angels and our guides that are basically putting the highest good in front of us? But sometimes the mind has a different idea of how it needs to unfold or how it needs to look. And then when that happens, people sometimes don't see the path right away. So that's why these practices of mindfulness and meditation and breathing and doing self Reiki and putting your hand in your heart or your belly or both, and just that embodiment, that stillness, the peacefulness that comes over you when you do those just for a few moments, it can be a huge shift in your energy. And it's that quiet mind space that allows for the messages to come, that allows for the limitations to be shifted, and that allows for the inspirations to plop in and the excitement and motivation to come in for whatever that new manifestation going forward is going to be. So enjoy these next few weeks. There's a lot going on, but this energy is going to be unfolding at different paces for all of us. So it could be unfolding with what I've just talked about over the next year or two for some of us, whereas other people might be like, oh, big change, and they're off and running. There's a potential for either one, depending on the individual and what's going on in your life. So it's just recognizing, oh, if you're hearing me say this and you feel like things are very slow, that makes sense with the energy too, because the balance of this, um, the initiating energy is being slowed down by Saturn. So just trusting, allowing, and most of all, receiving all your good and all your miracles, allowing it to unfold in divine timing. The mind will want to force or push or make things happen. And if you're getting a nudge and you're taking action, that's one thing. But if you're in your mind and you're deciding something and you're meeting resistance and it's not flowing, that could be a signal to surrender, come back in, and start to trust and see that the slower unfolding is for your highest and greatest good.